Welcome to the milk bar. 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 Welcome to the milk bar.
Welcome along to episode 528 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever, and coming up on the show, Daryl Griffiths from the Lighthouse let us know about their August programme, what's going on there and beyond with some of the stuff they have happening with the National Theatre. We'll have music from Frankie, Swain and Daniel Steer, as well as the One Voice Collective, with the One Voice Collective's Carl McGregor letting us know about their third charity single. That's all coming up on the show, but first of all,
Sheila Delaney's A Taste of Honey is at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 5th through to the 9th of November. The National Theatre are bringing it out on the road, and we have the wonderful Jodie Prenger, who's playing Helen in the show. Hello.
Said wonderful.
Well, this is what else? There's a load more superlatives being used for you.
So much more, I'm sure you can. I know, really looking forward to it, and especially with this play. Mm-hmm. The irony of it was put on my radar many, many, many years ago by a dear friend, Bobby Delaney.
Yeah.
Not related.
Mm-hmm.
And I just absolutely fell in love with it. It felt so real. It felt kind of so poignant, and I'm glad it's really come around. I'm glad it's coming to Wolverhampton.
But this is a bit of a change from what we first saw back in 1958, when, before both of our times, this took to the stage for the first time.
It was so taboo back then.
But yeah, because we've got someone running off with a car salesman.
Yeah.
And women weren't classed as...
Don't say that, I go out with a car salesman.
Well, no. But... It was not the done thing, was it? It wouldn't normally be the woman who would move on. It'd be the fella playing around that caused the problem, you would expect.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of the relationship with the mother and daughter relationship, which back then wasn't really kind of shown on that kind of scale, but it's what Sheila Delaney did, and it always amazed me that she was only 19 when she wrote that. And it was a lady called Joan Littlewood who really was brave and kind of a force in the theatre world that took it on and kind of workshopped it and then put it out to the public, and people just fell in love with it.
And this is something they're going to fall in love with all over again, because we've got a live band on stage this time.
We've got a live band.
So how does that fit in with all of this story?
Well, the thing was, it's the same production team. It's the same producers as things like The Curious Incident, One Man, Two Governors, Warhorse, and this production was done at the National with the same team in 2014. But they are really kind of revamping it. They're making it as relevant as it was in the 1950s as it could be today. And there's going to be a jazz band. It's going to focus on folk music, kind of jazz music, and we've had a workshop which was amazing. And we were doing songs like from Amy Winehouse to Nina Simone to Peggy Lee, and it was just... I think it adds another level to especially to the era. It really does.
So does this mean you're singing in the show?
Maybe.
Okay, right. So that being cagey about that one, right?
Maybe.
But people know you for your voice and the wonderful things you've done with it over the last decade since you've really got to know you.
Isn't that scary when you say a decade?
It is, but even
I know, it flies.
It does.
It flies.
But you've been in so many different things, and it is the fact that people do love you.
Do they?
Yeah, and they do. They come.
I have to pay them $5 though.
Every time. That can get expensive with a full tour across the UK. But I mean, what is it like being on the receiving end of that? Because it must be great when you're going to see a show, and there are people waiting at stage door for you, aren't they? Every night.
I know, it's lovely. Do you know, it still shocks me to this day, because I just think I just get to do what I love, and that's theatre. And like with Taste of Honey, I get to do a play that I adore. So I'm really looking forward to it. And it's lovely. I love having a chatter at stage door. But I am still shocked. It does shock me. So it's just me.
And I think that's probably part of the joy of it, because people know they're just getting you. And there's no airs and graces really, are there?
No.
That is the way it is. Okay, so the tour, we talked about the show. Yeah. What else is special about this for you? What do you think is really going to help? Is it the team you talked about?
It's the team that we're going to be working with. Really excited about that. I know some of the cast hasn't been released, but I know, and they are very, very talented people, as are the crew. But it's just, for me, I remember going in for the meeting about the show, and it's very close to my heart, this, because I said, listen, I'm coming in, I'm just going to read as my nan, and the part of Helen, how she talks, and when they're doing like, I do look at that, it is my nan. And my nan was from Manchester, was from my side, and it's the kind of the strength and the pride of the people, and that northern warm humour, yet tender, and the fight. Everything, it feels so close to home for me.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this production, because I suppose it'll feel like kind of a home away from home, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure you're going to feel then, you identify with the cast. We're going to identify with you because we know how much we like seeing you on stage.
You're not sick of me yet, then?
No. Give it. Well, wait till the end of the run.
10 minutes.
Then we'll see how it goes. No, you're going to be absolutely fantastic.
Minutes.
We will absolutely love it all. As I say, it's the National Theatre, bringing a taste of honey to Wolverhampton's Grand between the 5th and the 9th of November. Book your tickets now, 01902 429212 for the box office, or online at grandtheatre.co.uk.
You're good at remembering numbers, aren't you?
It's also written behind us. It's quite.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That helps. Jodie, lovely to have a chat with you. Break a leg, have a great time with the show, and we look forward to seeing you on stage at the Grand again.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
In a moment's time, Frankie Swain lets us hear her new single. But before we do that, let's take a listen to the last one. This is Hook, Line and Sinker on the Milk Bar.
You keep talking, and I keep listening, and every bone in my body knows you got me. How do you do what you do to me? You got me spinning, and everybody in the room knows you got me. Hook, line and sinker. Think we're on to winning now. On to winning now. Hook, line and sinker. Think we're on to winning now. On to winning now. The way you look at me, I know I'm falling, and every star in the sky must know you got me. Hook, line and sinker. Think we're on to winning now. On to winning now. Hook, line and sinker. Think we're on to winning now. On to winning now. You talking, and I keep listening, and every bone in my body knows you got me. Hook, line and sinker. Think we're on to winning now. On to winning now. Hook, line and sinker. Think we're on to winning now. On to winning now. You got me hook, line and sinker. Think we're on to winning now. On to winning now. I'm in hook, line and sinker. Think we're on to winning now. On to winning now. You keep talking. Think we're on to winning now. On to winning now. You keep listening. Think we're on to winning now. Think we're on to winning now.
Frankie Swain has just released Emergency Alarms, a brand new single and a fantastic sound. To tell us more before we hear the track, she's on the line now. Hello.
Hi,
How we doing?
I'm good, you?
Good. Now, Hook, Line and Sinker got a massive amount of radio play, and rightly so. And you've been enjoying success with that one right across Europe, and we're looking for the same with Emergency Alarms, which is out there now.
Yeah, no, hopefully. I mean, this is one of my favourite songs that we've written. Although I loved Hook, Line and Sinker, this one has a lot more meaning to me, I think. So I'm hoping it does just as well, if not better.
Now, you collaborated with a few people on the production of this one. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, the song was written with Dave Brown from Picture House, Jan O'Brien as well. And so that was a really interesting combination because it was my first songwriting session that I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And we wrote 3 songs together to start with, and to get Emergency Alarms out of that, it was really, like, I was really impressed by it personally.
So I suppose when something's happening like that, it must be quite magical when you get something, someone's got a bit of an idea and it starts to turn into a song, and before you know it, you're kind of mentally singing ahead of where you actually are with the track.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely incredible to be like that, because it is, like you said, you start off with like just a little idea. We had this idea for Emergency Alarms, that's where it started.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of, it's like it snowballs sort of from there, sort of thing. And once you start writing it, it just took a life of its own almost. And then you have, like, we put a basic sort of track. I went back over to Ireland to record my vocals for the proper thing, and it's like seeing your song come to life.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of thing. And I heard the final track, and yeah, no, I was just very happy with it.
Now, this touches on the subject of mental health and how sometimes a good friend is all you need. Many people need more than that, but a good friend is a fantastic starting point for anybody who's got concerns and needs to talk.
Yeah, I always say go get professional help if you think you need it, sort of thing. Like, that's first and foremost. But sometimes it's that first step of reaching out to someone, anyone, sort of thing, that is probably one of the most important steps in my mind anyway, because mental health is something we need to talk about constantly, not just a one-off, not just, okay, you're feeling better now, it won't happen again, because it does come back. And I think the song's more about that sort of thing, just take that first step into making yourself better.
Mm-hmm. And it's went through the production and the mixing that's really brought this to the fore, and Pete Glenister helped out with that alongside Dave, Jan and yourself.
Yeah, Pete is absolutely lovely. So we sent him the song, and he came back to us and he was like, I'm really going to take my time on this, because he loved the song and he wanted to do it right, and I think he definitely did do it right. He did a justice for it.
But then the mastering, that's been an art form in itself as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
With Ruben Cohen working on that one for you in LA?
Yeah. So that's, I mean, we've managed to get quite a few sort of big names on the song. And I think, yeah, if we hadn't have had all these people working on the song, then I don't think it would be half of what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And how does this tie in with your overall sound? Because you've got influences like George Ezra, Ward Thomas, Passenger. So, you know, there's a lot of great songs that you have listened to, which gives you a feel and a vibe for music. And where does that progress to the point at which it is working in your songwriting?
Well, Ward Thomas, I think, for Emergency Alarms is a big influence. On their last album, they spoke a lot about mental health, and, you know, it's okay to not be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And things like that. And I was listening to their album around the time that I went over to Ireland for the first songwriting session we did, and so I think they definitely influenced Emergency Alarms. And yeah.
Well, we'll take a listen to the track in a moment at this time, but before we do, give us details of where we can find you on all the socials and where your online presence is, please.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of the good social medias,
Mm-hmm.
under Frankie Swain Music. You can also find me on my website, frankieswain.com, which has a link to all my social medias anyway as well.
Listen, you can get links that way. And a bit of a back catalogue there, because certainly Hook, Line and Sinker is going to be available, isn't it?
Yeah. Hook, Line and Sinker and Emergency Alarms are all available currently on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, pretty much anywhere and everywhere.
So take a little listen, enjoy the music, and most importantly, get in touch and follow on social media so that they're getting updates when the next. I mean, there's at least one more song from this writing session that we know is going to come out at some point.
Yep, there definitely is.
So we'll take a listen to that one soon. Meanwhile, we're going to take Emergency Alarms now. For now, Frankie Swain, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thanks.
Beautiful thing, where did it all begin? Out of sight but kept within. Ooh. cries icicles in the rain. Far from self but close to harm. Emergency alarms. Nightmares end where dreams begin. Now's the time, it's sink or swim. And I'll be there, just take my hand. Ooh, beautiful soul, where did it all belong? You know your demons, you know its charm. Emergency alarm. Dreams begin when nightmares end. Time still to begin again. And I'll be here, just take my hand. Ooh, maybe we can bring it all back. Baby, just bring it all back. Beautiful thing. Where did it all begin? Nightmares end where dreams begin. Now's the time, it's sink or swim. And I'll be there, just take my hand. Ooh, emergency alarms. Ooh.
That's Frankie Swain with Emergency Alarms here on the Milk Bar.
Back in May, the One Voice Collective got together for the third time, this time raising funds following the cyclone in southern Africa. To tell us more about everything that's been going on, I'm joined now by Carl McGregor. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
All good
You all right,
here,
Des?
and it's good to see you. Nice to have a catch up.
see you too, mate.
In fact, I think the last time you were entertaining 30,000 people in a park when we got together, weren't you? We haven't had time to have a natter since then. You got the badge on. That's what counts.
Yeah.
But we had a great time down there celebrating Wolf's promotion, and with the music of Project 21 and Beverly Knight down there. And,
T-Cell Jackson as well.
He was there,
Look as
yeah.
well.
It was a fantastic day we had, and it's when musicians come together they can really make a difference, and that was for our city. Meanwhile, though, there's One Voice Collective have been doing great things, raising great funds in the face of some really terrible disasters across the globe.
The first time this project was put together was on the back end of the tsunami in 2004. Artists from all over the country gathered at Abbey Road Studios in London and recorded a single for that project, for that disaster. And then the second time was in 2010 after the Haiti earthquake. And again, that was recorded at Abbey Road. This time round, it was a studio in Bedfordshire in response to the cyclone that hit southern Africa, Mozambique, Zimbabwe and parts of South Africa. It was completely decimated, especially Mozambique. They got the brunt of it.
We're talking hundreds of thousands of people, though, displaced, losing their homes, losing everything they had.
Yeah.
The trauma that they went through must have been absolutely huge, and the pressure that it put on for the emergency services in those countries. Obviously, there was an international effort as well, but after that, it just doesn't stop. So that they need continuing funds to come through, and that's where you guys come in with this charity single, and not only that, but also to raise awareness as well.
That's right. The problem with these disasters is that the media is there for the first few days and then they go away.
Yeah.
But the trauma doesn't stop for the victims. So Tear Fund, which is an organisation, Christian-based organisation, a charity, they've gone in and they're helping people on the ground and still are today. So this single was put together by a really good friend of mine, Lawrence Johnson, and he wrote this song, and gathered. He called me up and says, "Carl, would you like to be a part of the project?" And pulled some great singers and artists from across the country, mainly in the gospel Christian music scene. And we all gathered in this studio and to record that, and so all the proceeds from the record is going to Tear Fund to help the victims rebuild.
Yeah, and it's that rebuilding that now is vitally important. We're months down the line now, and still normality has not returned for many of those people who were affected. And nature did its worst to them, but they are showing strength of spirit, those that have survived. And there's people there helping them, and through Tear Fund, and in particular, all these sort of projects have come together. One of many which is putting funds into them. This is hopefully going to start to get them to some sort of normal life.
That's right.
And get them back in homes and proper accommodation again.
That's right. You said it. And I think we did it with the other two projects, and so loads and loads of money was raised for those in Haiti and in Indonesia, victims of the tsunami. So we want to get it out there. Really, it's a great song, and it's some fantastic, amazing singers.
But the thing is, you will not work on a project unless it's a project that's worth working on. I know you, the work that you do. So, and all the big events that you've done, and whether it be, I don't know, let's see what we've done in the past. You singing for Molyneux when the Queen Mother sadly passed away.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no one else who could have done that for us at Molyneux. You were the man, and so
and it was an honour as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
She passed away unexpectedly. I think she passed away on the Saturday.
Yeah,
and then the
match
game
was on Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on Bank Holiday Monday, Easter Monday. And so it was arranged very, very quickly. I didn't really have time to think about it, and I had to do a cappella as well.
Absolutely, and you did a wonderful job of it. But obviously did everybody proud that day, as you do in all of your work. So again, we know the quality of the work in this project. So before we even listen to it, which we'll do in a moment or two's time, we know it's absolutely spot on. So how do people raise funds then through this? Because obviously every time it gets streamed, there'll be some cash coming that way. So whether it's on YouTube, I take it you're on Spotify as well?
Yeah, it's on Spotify, all the major platforms, iTunes, Amazon. You can stream it, you can buy it, because it's worth buying. And the sound of the choir is just amazing. I mean, imagine you've just got so many great artists and singers in one room. The sound of the choir is absolutely sublime. It really is. We had fun doing it. It was a really great experience, and the musicians, everybody gave their time for nothing as well, which was really brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic. So my mate Lawrence was very happy, very pleased.
Well, the finished product is out there, so we're looking for the One Voice Collective.
One Voice Collective,
and the song?
And the song is called Strength to Go On.
But equally, listen to the other stuff as well. So look out for everything One Voice Collective have done.
Yeah, One Voice. The first one that we did in the beginning of 2005, that was called One Voice, One Heart. And then the second one, what was the second one called?
With the Googling, we will find all of this. It won't be a problem. Each will link to the other.
Somebody help me.
There we go.
Somebody help me, please.
And that is the title. That's not just what you're looking for. I'm trying to remember the title.
No, that's not what I'm looking for. That's definitely the title of the song.
Okay, check all of that out. But the one for that is current is, what's what?
It's called Strength to Go On. One Voice Collective. Look it up.
Okay, do that. Meanwhile, Carl, always great having a chat with you. Give us a quick plug for Project 21 and where that can be found online and all that sort of stuff.
We've got a website, project21.org.uk. You can look us up, and we're still gigging. We're doing lots of different things. And in fact, actually, we are in the process of setting up a charity where we're going to be helping and mentoring. We've always mentored young people. That's a lot of what we've been about. It's not just a band that does gigs, but we use our talent to give back and to help young people especially young people that are struggling with self-image, body image, depression, anxiety, that kind of thing. Because we find that a lot of these young people are talented, but they don't realise it.
They don't know how to shine yet.
They don't know how to shine, and they've got a voice that they don't know exists. So what we try and do, whether it's in schools or when we, sometimes people call us up and say, "Oh, he's a great singer. You should listen to him or her." You know, we get them in a rehearsal, and we throw them in a gig. You know, and just the sound of applause just really lifts their confidence and does something amazing, you know, with them. So we're hoping to launch that in the autumn, and I'm hoping to get one of my heroes from America as a producer and drummer, and I'm hoping to get him over, and we're gonna launch it.
Fingers crossed for you.
Yeah.
Project21.org.uk.
Yep.
Okay, check all the details there. Carl McGregor's the man you're looking for. Absolutely fantastic musician, lovely fella. Got some really good friends as well. And I class myself as one of those.
Yes, of
That's
course,
the way
man.
to do it.
Of
Carl,
course.
always good to see you. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Cheers, man. Great.
Cheers.
Thanks, Jason.
It's so confusing, brothers and sisters. You've been through enough for a lifetime. Where do we go? Where do we start? Lord, we need your help. What you've been through, I can only imagine.
You've seen darkness and gray clouds,
Suffering and pain, tears fall with the rain. Lord, please send your help.
I can hear the melodies of joy, guiding through the silence that is all around.
Singing will never stop. We'll fight till the end, for we have the strength to go on.
We'll have the strength to go on.
And I know it's hurting, mothers and fathers. You see your children crying. How do we start to give them hope?
We need the Father's help.
Have you ever heard the cry of a grieving mother? Makes you wonder what it's life, who's the one above us? Does he really care? Does he really love us? In times of despair when the world suffers.
You told me some things I won't understand. I'll just trust and obey that you've got a plan.
I can see your footprints in the sand. I know you'll never leave me, you've got my life in your hands.
Can you hear the melodies of joy, cutting through the silence there?
Singing will never stop. We'll fight to the end.
We have the strength to go on. We won't give up, won't be defeated. We have
That's One Voice Collective, sounding fantastic, raising funds for Mozambique and all those other countries affected by that cyclone in southern Africa.
Down here at the Lighthouse Media Centre, there's always plenty going on, lots of great films to see and some National Theatre stuff too. To tell us more, Daryl Griffiths is with me as ever. Hello.
Hello.
Right, what's happening then? Because you've got a busy August programme.
Yeah, it's stacked. The main film is Quentin Tarantino's 9th film, which is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All-star cast: Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, which deals with Sharon Tate and the Manson murders, which sounds a bit grim on surface.
It tends to do a bit of gruesome stuff, doesn't it, old Quentin? So, you know what you're going to get, but it's the way he does it that makes it special.
Yeah, it's quite an original twist on it. But we've got that on Friday, the 16th of August. We've got Pain and Glory, which is from a Spanish author called Pedro Almodovar, who's quite popular here, and he's got regular collaborators Antonio Banderas and Penelope Cruz involved in that one. That's on the 30th of August. Another good two-hander this month is Mrs. Larry and Son, which is Timothy Spall and Vanessa Redgrave.
Now, you were getting really excited about this. You like this, don't you?
Yeah, it's a really great offering about the painter T.S. Lowry. We're doing like a one-off screening of the film, which involves a gallery talk, which is being streamed into cinemas, which Timothy Spall is actually carrying out himself from Manchester, so that will be on sale as well. Other films, we've got Blinded by the Light, which is a musical offering that incorporates the back catalogue of Bruce Springsteen.
Now, that sounds quite exciting in itself, because that's something that we haven't really seen before. His music features in films, but this is going to be a big one for Bruce Springsteen fans, but also someone who likes a good tale too.
Yeah, exactly. And the reviews already are really through the roof, and it's from a director called Gurinder Chadha, who you may recognise from Bend It Like Beckham from many years ago. But yeah, that's out from Friday. It's sort of our main release this week, which I'm highly recommending as well.
Okay, so that's something to look forward to. But on top of that, the National Theatre are doing a few bits and pieces too.
Yeah, National Theatre. The main thing, it's sort of been the hot topic in this place. It's been Fleabag.
But it's sold out.
Yeah, it has sold out already. We are in the process of announcing non-core screenings, which will probably be sort of in October time, but we'll confirm them as soon as possible.
Because it's a case of follow Twitter and the main website.
Indeed,
for that.
yeah. General inquiries a lot of people have asked today. If you want to give us a call, it's 01902 716 055, or you can visit the website at www.light-house.co.uk, or you can give us a follow on Twitter at Lighthouse Media.
So do all of that. And what other things should we be looking out for as you're heading towards September?
The main thing already, we've had a few inquiries, is Downton Abbey, which of course the big screen version, so that will be popular, so you expect that here for much of September. And we're still sort of in the process of finalising various other films, a lot of debates. So
Okay, but so the monthly programme will be out. Obviously, you put that together around a month in advance, so that's
Indeed,
all
yeah.
happening now. And people can get on the mailing list for that one?
Yeah, you can indeed. You can do it obviously through our website and subscribe to our email, or you can obviously pop into box office to us and you can sign up that way as well.
Okay, get all the details. And there's lots of other things to do with Love Lighthouse as well, so all of that on the website and the Twitter feeds, and make sure that. But come down and ask the question, because you can find out what's happening and get involved in the whole event. And because there's a big notice board in the bar, isn't there? So there's all sorts of stuff on there. So off the top of your head, think of your favourite event that's on that notice board.
It will probably be our Light Bar reunion, which is on the 25th of August. It's on a monthly basis, so you've been here in the 90s and haven't necessarily visited the building. That'll be back on again on August Bank Holiday, and tickets will be on sale for that now, I believe, so if you want to snap them up.
So you'll be throwing shapes at that one?
Possibly.
Okay, in those shorts it could get really messy, but there we go. Once again, give us the website.
www.light-house.co.uk.
Daryl, thanks for having a chat with us, and we're looking forward to seeing all the great stuff down here at Lighthouse.
Thank you.
Daniel Steer is along in a minute. We'll be hearing from him, but first let's take a listen to his fantastic new single. This is Green. That's Green from Daniel Steer. He joins me now on the line to tell me more about the song and his career so far. Hello, sir.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I trust we find you well.
Yeah, everything's great.
That hasn't always been the case. I mean, something that we touch on in the song that we just heard there surrounds some of the mental health issues and other problems that you've had, and you've used this as inspiration when it's come to putting music to our ears.
Yeah, I think it's just something that everyone can relate to, being in a place in their life that they're not particularly happy or comfortable with, and just making that break and pushing on through and just coming out the other side, really. I think that's the general feeling of the song.
But in this, I mean, you're kind of confessing of hiding behind social media and the filters that are there. And how did that come about to really become part of your life that you've now tried to take a step away from?
I think it's in lots of jobs and kind of everyday life now, you get caught up in what's going on online, kind of comparing your own life to other successful people or other people that are seemingly more successful on you on social media. Whether that's the case or not is a completely different thing, and kind of judging yourself based on unrealistic views of others. And I think it's important to take a step back and remember who you are, where you come from, and what the situation is.
And you've worked on with a great team to bring this to release. They've done a fantastic job, but equally they've been working with some massive names in the past, as you are going to be with this, your solo release. I can see this doing great things.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, I'm very lucky to work with a guy that produced my record. His name's Tom Gleason. He's a great producer. He's also a guitarist in a band called Feeder. And my mixing engineer, Chris Sheldon, he's mixed bands like Foo Fighters, Biffy Clyro, people like that. So yeah, I'm really lucky to work with amazing people.
And where else have you come from musically? Obviously, this is your debut solo release, but what else is there out there that you've been pleased to work on in the past?
Yeah, my other band, which is still, we're taking a bit of a hiatus, my band Raining Days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the last record I put out before this one, last year or the year before, I can't remember. But it's called Eclipse, and that's by Raining Days. And it's kind of, this is a more back to my roots, kind of indie pop, kind of what I grew up on in the, late 90s, early noughties, kind of. And that's what I wanted to kind of unleash on this record, and that's what you can expect from my solo album.
Mm-hmm. And that's all going to come along at a future date. Obviously, Green is released on the 23rd of August. And then the album, are we thinking in time for Christmas?
Yeah, Definitely. October, the album.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple more singles before then.
So you're going to be keeping to teasing us with the music as we go along.
Just keep dropping out a few little nuggets every now and again.
And is there a kind of theme to the album too? Or is it really just a collection of your musings on different subjects?
I think it's definitely, it's definitely a journey and an internal kind of look at things in my life and how it's been and what's happened so far and how things may go in the future, and just discussing things that I think a lot of people think about and, hopefully talk about. And we're getting there with people talking more about certain situations in their life, they're comfortable about it or not. I think this album provokes, those conversations, which is great.
And with the work that you're doing to promote this, obviously, social media is something that you've changed an attitude towards. But how do you think that that's now going to help in the work that you're doing to promote? Are you going to approach us in a much more understanding way, having seen the evils of social media?
Yeah, I think before I got caught up in just using social media like Instagram, Facebook and Twitter just more as a corporate thing to say, right, this is out, download here, do this now. But I think if you've got those platforms and you've got any kind of audience, and I'm not saying I've got a massive following or anything, but there are people that do follow me, and I think it's important to be genuine and honest through those platforms. To give people a true representation of what's actually going on. So not just the corporate, things and just the big machine posts, but to make it more personal and more realistic so people can have a more realistic viewpoint.
with the work that you do ongoing and the enjoyment you get from sharing that, it can kind of become a community which is being open and talking. And I'm sure that you'd want to be there for somebody if they found themselves in a similar position that you've been through and you've spoken about in the song Green.
Well, I think anyone that's kind of got any sort of struggles emotionally or physically, or any kind of problem, you need someone to be able to reach out to and talk to. And obviously, if anyone ever wants to talk to me, I'm always an inbox away. And I think it's good for people to realise there are people that are feeling the same as you, or have experienced similar things, and you're not on your own. That's the moral of the story.
So where can we go to find out about you, your music, and of course pick up tracks online?
Yeah, you can go to Downsteer Music on Instagram, Facebook, and my website danielsteer.co.uk, and Spotify. My music's on there. So keep an eye out, and I'll be in touch.
Okay, keep listening, keep enjoying. For now, thank you for the single Green, and the amount of your soul and energy that you've put into it, because you really have opened yourself up here. And it's good to know that you're happy sharing that to not only help others but also entertain too.
Exactly, that's the idea. Thanks, man.
That's a lot for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Back with episode 529 next week. I'll see you then.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.